to be in your company together with the Director General of the World Trade Organization, Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala. I hope you And we're here to have discussions on how to be able to make everybody's business better. We believe that once we are able to discuss everything on our businesses, on our trade, and give us views and discussions on what we can do, what we are allowed to do to be able to make it better and improve on what we already do, it's going to affect us nationally and then much internationally. And before anything, since this is supposed to be a lot more interactive, I suggest that we begin with some sort of an introduction for us to be able to interact here. But before then, I'll hand it over to Director General so she can share a few words. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much, Honorable Minister. It's an absolute pleasure to be with you. I was saying this will be the most exciting session of the day. Please don't let anyone else hear. but I've been looking forward to this very much, just listening to you. As the Minister said, I'm the head of the World Trade Organization, Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, and I've been a Minister of Finance in my country, Nigeria, for 7 years, Minister of Foreign Affairs, and at the World Bank. So a long period throughout my career, I've been trying to work with women and support women. Now we're here because Ghana is a really important country. This is the first official tour to Africa, and I decided to start with Ghana. There's a lot of entrepreneurial spirit here and a lot of good things are happening. I know that the economy is going through a certain amount of stress here. That is a known. Even in my own country, we're also going through stress. But that being said, the entrepreneurial spirit of women is alive, and we wanted to capture some of that. At the WTO, one of the things we are really keen on is how to support small and medium enterprises better. And we have a set of members who have an initiative on small and medium enterprises. At the same time, we are also very keen on gender, empowering women in trade, because we know we've done some studies with the World Bank that show that women who are able to trade abroad earn 3 times, 2.8 times, almost 3 times as more than women who trade domestic. So that got us thinking, how do we empower more women to get onto regional and international value chains? What are the constraints that they face, and what do we have to do? But before I go further, I want to say that I'm here with some very important people from the WTO, including my gender advisor in my own office. We have an office of women empowerment, but in my own office, it was so important that I also decided to have a gender advisor. So let me introduce my colleagues, if you don't mind. Starting with Nicole Mensah. She's my gender advisor and also my special assistant. And then we have Dr. Kwame Casey, Edwini Casey, who is the Director of Agriculture at the WTO. And Your Excellency, Ambassador, I won't introduce you. I don't know whether you're part of my team, but His Excellency, Ambassador of Ghana, Ambassador Entry, Ambassador of Ghana to the WTO, to the UN institutions in Geneva, of which the WTO is one. We have my senior advisor on environment and agriculture, Mr. Bedejo, who is also from Mauritius, South Africa. And finally, the Director of the International Economic Relations Department, Mr. Ismail Adeng, who is Senegalese. Yeah, so we came with an African team. But what I'd like to do is give Nicole a chance to say a few words about what we're actually doing in women. Do you mind, before we go around, just a few quick words on trying to empower women in trade.
Thank you so much for coming. I think Dr. Ngozi has said about the research that we've been doing at the WTO that shows that when women trade, they make 2.8 times more. McKinsey did a study a few years ago that showed that if we integrate more women into the economy, we stand to make $12 trillion or add $12 trillion to the global GDP. So it's a topic that's very important to the Director General, and it's one that's very important to me as well, making sure that we have more women in trade, we have more women in business, and we're able to get women into global value chains. So at the WTO, we've been doing a bit of work to ensure this. I think first of all, we have our Aid for Trade program, where we've been working with countries to support women-owned businesses. So we provide technical support, and we've also provided training for government officials as well. At the WTO, we have a gender unit, and so in our gender unit, last year we organized the very first Women in Trade conference. I think some of you were there actually. Amy might have been there, yes. But we had our first Women in Trade Congress last year in December, and there we really got to find out what is the research on women in trade. We're saying that when women trade, countries benefit, but what really is the research? And then based on that, what can the WTO do to enable more women to trade? So now we've been working with the ITC. The ITC is the International Trade Center, which is kind of a sub-part of the WTO. And they work a lot with rural women, helping them to, with the goods that they have, helping them to upskill the goods they have, and then to be able to trade them as well. So they're working with, I know they work with shea butter producers in Ghana and in West Africa. They work with coffee producers, with cocoa producers as well. We also have the Enhanced Integrated Framework, the EIF at the WTO, and they've been working, I think, with 1,600 young women in Burundi and Ethiopia who are working on coffee and making other products, helping them to expand and then building their online platforms for them. So there's a lot of work that we're doing. We're hoping to do more as well. We have the Standards and Trade Development Facilitation at the WTO, where we're helping female farmers with their phytosanitary and sanitary products. So, a lot of products couldn't be exported initially, and I know even with shea butter, Ms. Rita is here, but that was a problem that people faced earlier. The products were not high quality enough to be exported. So how to make the products even better quality so they meet the international standards of trade and are able to be exported. So we're hoping to do more of this. We're hoping to learn from you today. And I'm hoping that even as we do here, some of the barriers that you face to trade, some of the issues, some of the challenges you've had, and also some of the benefits you've had, we'll be able to provide more support to women entrepreneurs on the continent. Thank you.
My name is Priscilla Akotobampo. I grew up in Ghana, in Accra, but I've been living in Tamale in the northern part of Ghana for 10 years. I'm the founder and CEO of Shepherd's Rice Mills. I'm focused on rice because I realized that rice is the second most consumed commodity in the country. But most importantly, I focus on parboiled rice, which is a more nutritious offer to the Ghanaian, largely because we're more predisposed to diabetes. And so the most interesting part of the work is I work with women. The work I do is largely done by, currently we have 300 women. We started with 5 women. We're trying to hit 500, and hopefully by next year or 2025, we're trying to hit 1,500 women. And it's just a little drop in the ocean because in northern Ghana alone we have 120,000 women producing parboiled rice on a small scale. So women are really doing amazing things, and we want to really show the world, not just Ghana, that the northern region has a lot of value to offer. But most importantly, they need to get the economic value for what they're producing. And so my job is to make sure that their product is out there, they're getting premium prices, and they're getting incomes in their pockets. Of course, as I've said, we're working with women. My job is to empower women. I believe that the women are able to tell their own stories. My job is only to push them to the front. But a constraint is partnerships. How do we find the right people to work with to get our products out there? Venture capital, even financing. If WTO is not going to give financing, how do we find the right people to access funding? So I would really be interested to hear what you can you can tell us in that regard. Thank you.
That's perfect. We don't have
So it's a little bit easier for me to have a business there. But when it comes to the US, we've had several years of working with independent companies, going and meeting big brands there, but there's just that barrier where we can't quite get over, whether it's logistics, supply chain, warehousing. These are the things that, you know, we have great difficulty with, but I know that there's the opportunity there, and we hope that this conversation, there's people around the table that can make it happen. So thank you again for having me. It's a pleasure and an honor to be here.
Well, thank you.
My name is Agnes Gifty Ejesam. I'm here in two capacities. First, as the Director for Marketing at Ghana Export Promotion Authority. So we help to put some of the women together here, and we ask them to bring samples of their products. So I've been asked to tell you to put your product in front of you. So if you brought your product, kindly put it in front of you. And so our work is to support, you can, Phyllis, please, you can help them put there. Our work is to support women and SMEs in general find market for their products. And one of the key issues we have found is being able to get international certification. Recently, we were in the UK with Carl Mocha and one or two of the people here. They really loved our products, but they want to see that the products have international certification, eco certification for those doing shea butter, for those doing food. They want to see that they have complied with international certification, and the cost is so expensive for SMEs to be able to do it. Another challenge our women also have, in fact everybody around here has, is being able to get their products into mainstream markets. And so you find a lot of our products in ethnic market, but we're looking for mainstream markets, so that if you go to Tesco, if you go to Sainsbury, Harrods, you actually find the beautiful brand from Ghana. When I see the bags and the things that women are making, it is so amazing, but you find little to none on mainstream markets. So if we can get the WTO to help speak to the big brands so that our products will go there directly, I believe that it will really help us. And then finally, my colleagues have already spoken about it, about, you know, the non-tariff barriers. It's so huge. It is so very huge. Sometimes like...
Just describe a couple of the NTVs.
Yes, sometimes like like pineapple. They will say it is too big, it is too small, it is too ripe. And then the packaging, they will ask that, for example, those who do the fresh products, they would want to ensure that it conforms to what they call the Lacey Act, that they should be able to trace and track the wood on which the product has been put. And all these are a lot of costs to our entrepreneurs. And so we don't know how we could be helped with these non-tariff barriers. The good thing is that, because we wanted to talk about the positives, since COVID came, we realized that our women are doing a lot of business digitally. They are able to put their products online. Some of them have very interesting websites. And if you see the website, I've seen Valerie's website, and I'm so amazed, not just her. So many people, they have taken advantage of the COVID to improve on how to put their product out there digitally. My second heart here is that very soon I'll be going on retirement towards the end of the year, and I'm also an entrepreneur. So I do women advocacy first, and then I'm also producing my own products. So I know that very soon I'll also be going through all these challenges. So the better we find a solution to it, the better it will be for me when I also become an entrepreneur. So thank you very much for this opportunity.
Tough act to follow. Good morning, everyone. My name is Vanessa Bannerman. I am a co-owner at Christy Brown, women's fashion apparel and accessories. I don't have my products put on the table, but I am wearing Christy Brown. And it's lovely to see that a number of women here are wearing Christy Brown as well.
Could you stand up?
Oh, yes.
This is Christy Brown.
So Christy Brown is a 15-year-old business, started in 2008. And actually, it's very interesting because we consider ourselves a luxury women's wear brand, but we actually operate from one of the poorest areas in Accra, in Koligono, about 15 minutes away from here. A majority of our staff are women because they actually use the brand and what we do as an outlet, a way to get away from their problems, for us to solve financial inclusion issues that they have, and to sort of, balance the skills a little bit when it comes to equity. The problem is, as the brand grows, as we get bigger, we now have a flagship store here in Accra, we have an e-commerce website, we sell internationally. But it's interesting because it's easier for us to get our products to the States than it is to get our products to Lagos or to Nairobi. And those are some of the conversations that I think would be very healthy and interesting to have here. Because if I can't ship a dress to my neighbor, but I can get it across the Atlantic, that definitely seems to be a problem here. Also, in expanding and in scaling up, we want to really focus on funneling the youth, especially young girls, into the value chain, not just manufacturing, but there are so many aspects of the business that need to come together to allow us to produce a high quality product that can compete with other brands around the world. And that's something that we're also missing. So there's, capacity building that is very important to the brand. Helping the youth, especially women, and basically figuring out how we can trade both locally and internationally. I think those, some key points for discussion today. I'm excited, so I'm really looking forward to hearing what other people have to say. It's really interesting to hear what Jetstream has to say about purchase order, financing, helping companies like a Christy Brown being able to support a brand like us to produce as we are going into the wholesale market. We say we want to be international, we say we want to ship internationally, but we need to be able to finance it ahead of time because there are different lead times. We produce today, but we sell in 6 months. So it's interesting, and I'm looking forward to having more healthy conversation around that. Thank you.
Hey, my name is Teresa Brown, or you can call me MBA. And I'm the founder and creative director of MBA Mode Ghana Limited. So we started as a garment business. However, we had a dream to run a fashion school, which came to light. And so we've been running a fashion school from 2017. And during the COVID, we diversified a bit, looking at how children were at home. We came up with the idea of starting the production of dolls and toys. And so we started producing African dolls. And the reason is because for example, during my childhood, I found myself playing with white dolls, like plastic dolls. And it's been difficult having children accept African-made dolls. And so what can we do to let them accept their identity, they are blacks? However, the challenge has been, it's difficult having parents buy this type of dolls for their children. We realize that the whites are the main people who rather want this for their children. And it's sad, seriously, it's very sad. Africans do not, Ghanaians specifically, do not purchase our products. We find our product going outside the country. Just recently, I was in Netherlands and I had the opportunity to meet the ambassador to the Netherlands, and he asked the question. He said, "How is your product faring in Ghana?" And I was sad to tell him that it's not faring well. Rather, we are trying to go outside Ghana because it's accepted outside Ghana. The challenge has been getting certification. Here in Ghana, we cannot, there is no standards for what we produce. Like when it comes to food, we have FDA that certifies foods. When it comes to our toys, Standards Authority will tell you that we do not have standards for it. And before you can also sell outside, you need standards, you need certification for the toys. And we are finding ourselves in a situation whereby we can only certify these toys outside Ghana, which is very expensive. And so that is one challenge that we are having as a production house. We are doing so well, but we need to get our toys certified so we can get them in toy shops outside the country. And I must say that I am grateful for this opportunity to be at the table with you. And we are equally helping our students. We train them and then employ some of them who in turn are able to make a living from the production of toys. And one fascinating thing about our toys is that we use waste. So fabrics that are used in production, the production of garment bags, we use the waste, we recycle them, and we get them into the toys business. Thank you.
My name is Rita Damson. I am the founder of Bandisuro Shea Butter Processing Cooperative. I started working with 55 women, and since we all know in the North, shea butter is what our women in the rural areas are doing. So I got into this shea butter business. I organize women in cooperative, and I happened to get a company who used to buy from the women. And so from 55 women now, we are 1,500 women in the shea industry in the North, in a community called Panarabu. I also train, I give skill training to the women, because in shea butter production, there is a time when the season is over, when companies go on break or people who buy shea butter go for break. I use our own shea butter to teach them how to make soap, especially laundry soap, so that they can be able to be in business as the season is up again. And one thing, the challenges we have in the shea industry is that shea butter production is a very tedious work, but we don't get fair prices to that because of the middlemen in it, and also because of certification, as my sister said earlier on. So I'm very happy to be here today, to be on the table with you, madam, and we are looking forward to see what the WTO can do in order to get with the cooperative certification, so that we will be able to sell directly to companies, so that we will get good money. Thank you. I think that's what I have for now. Thank you.
I'd like to stand up because it feels very true to me to actually stand up and give an introduction. So my name is Videta Jololo. I'm a 28-year entrepreneur here in Ghana. 2 years ago, I quit my job in banking to move to Ghana to set up my company, Salta Chale. So that's Salta Chale in true Ghanaian fashion. And we are a curated experiences organization that does travel experiences around Africa. What we're very proud of is, I often say that the company is an Afro-Gen Z run travel startup. Why do I say this? Because we're heavily aligned to the SDG 4 and the SDG 8, in that we currently hire an 80% Gen Z population, typically university students who work with us as seasonal workers. We pay them 20 to 25 times the daily minimum wage during our most peak season. And in addition to that, we also provide scholarships for the young people who work with us. One of our youngest people is our 19-year-old operations lead, Kwesi, who I'm very proud to speak about often. And you know, Salta Chale has done quite well in the past 2 years. We have been able to get a share of this 2.5 billion African tourism industry, which we hope to grow. But very much underpinning the business is young people and making sure that we can provide them with education, we can provide them with employment and leadership, because it speaks very much to my youth pastor days when I was, you know, bringing everyone together and making sure that the young people were, you know, evangelizing for Christ and being part of the Christian church. So I want to make sure that that is very much reflected in my business as well. Thank you.
My name is Annie Safo, a registered dietitian, a chocolatier, and then CEO of Annie's Perfections. So Annie's Perfections is a food processing company that we produce nut-based products and cereals. After my master's, I was thinking of what I was going to do as a dietitian, and I didn't really want to go back to be employed with children, and now you have to leave them. And also I decided to set up a factory. So I actually have a factory with machines that we use to roast, we peel, we grind, and we package our product. So we have the peanut butter in a squeeze bottle. Most of the people that travel around prefer this one because it's easy to carry, and then you don't have to use a knife or anything like that. And then we also have it in a sachet. For if you're going to work or the children are going to school, you can just stir it and then use it. We also have it in a jar, and we have a breakfast cereal. And it came up because as a dietitian, I know that there is an astronomical increase in non-communicable diseases, as in diabetes and hypertension. And when I did my research, I realized a lot of the complaints was that we have a lot of food with preservatives and that are adulterated. So as a dietitian, I was like, what am I going to use my knowledge to do? So I decided to go into the food processing. And so my peanut butter is the best you can get in Ghana. We get people buy and take it out. When we go outside, thanks to GEPA, we've been to South Africa for the IETF. I was also nominated by the AFTA Secretariat for the Women and Youth in Trade Conference in Tanzania. We showed some of our products, and our products, unfortunately, our products are doing very well out there. But when it comes to our local people, accepting our products is a bit difficult, and we take a lot of time and to make sure that we have that quality on the market. And the recent research by FDA said that all the peanut butter they have in all the bigger or major markets in Ghana had aflatoxin. We went to do our own and it was below the level, the EU standard. There was no salmonella found in our products, both our cereals, and it's a random thing we just like to do to see if we are still in line with the quality. Because as a biologist and a dietitian, I know that these are things that are very key to me. Whatever I produce, I should also be able to eat as well. So that's how come we have Annie's Perfections, and there are more products in the pipeline as well. And I'm a beneficiary of ITC. Last year, they gave us 1 year free combat training and professional subscription. So thank you to WTO as well.
Don't worry, you can whisper.
I am Felicia Chumesi, the founder, CEO of Home Foods. We are in agribusiness. We've been in business for the past 27 years. We started with 5 women, now we're over 10,000. We've been able to come up with a cooperative system that I call the subset. And through us, Ministry of Agriculture, we actually sought help from Ministry of Agriculture 27 years ago. And thank God they listened to us. So we've been able to establish mechanized workshop around those areas. So most of them now use a lot of mechanization to do their product. When we started business, some of them were doing $200 a year. And then now it's over 200,000 per person. And I'm happy to say that Home Foods have been able to turn a lot of villages around the Eastern region into towns. Like Adesso, Lasamankese, we are there. We've been able to, by the help of Ministry of Agriculture, use their extension officers who have actually expanded and then increased their yields. We are now getting into establishing, we have town farms there. We have our quality assurance that we use a lot from the Ministry of Agriculture. They've been a good help. And then we are heading towards building a whole new state-of-the-art factory on a 5.5 acre land at Free Zone, which we did. And then we call it Home Foods Food Corridor, whereby, we do a lot of edible oils, palm oil and the derivatives of palm oil. And so during that, we were able to expand and then diversify. We get it into nuts, we get it into rice. So I'm very happy to meet some of you. We get it into nuts and seeds. We're gonna do a lot of inventory management for our product. As we all know, agribusiness is very seasonal, and you need to buy a lot and then store. And that really gives me the strength to get up every morning to go and work, because of a lot of women like that be impacted. And she was talking about the SDG. I think we've done more than 10 of them. And one of the great things that we want to do is to actually impact their children to add value to, and then turn into a lot of modernize their mom's business. For example, we buy a lot of gari from Adesso. We've been able to go into partnership with USAID. They call it WACOM, West Africa Competitive. We've done that, Volta region, and we've been able to modernize a lot of their roasting by giving them a lot of machinery. And we are happy to say that most of the mechanized machinery they use are all produced here. And we are hoping to also ensure that
Ghana will leave legacy for our posterity. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody. I'm Nanama. I'm the founder of Harmony Chocolates. Ghana, the second largest producer of cocoa, premium cocoa in the world. Arguably the best cocoa in the world. And with our fine aggregate cocoa. Yes.
I'll see what they say when I get to Cote
we're into chocolate making and other confectionery, mainly chocolates. We want to be part of the up-and-coming chocolate and cocoa products producers in Ghana. Because as our president has said, we're going to be selling off our premium cocoa raw from harvest. It has to be processed. Of course, challenges. Machinery, cost of production, cost of doing business. However, in my 5-6 years of doing this, it's amazing. The knowledge in Ghana, imported my machines had difficulties, and I was wowed by the 23, 24-year-old engineers, electrical engineers, mechanical engineers. We have it. I don't know how we're going to get it done, but some of the machinery, they have to actually literally put it apart and put it together again. And if you see the machines work, you won't think the Ghanaian place did it. So I know that's good. FDA has been strict but supportive. Recently, I was on the group that went to International Food Exhibition, and our chocolates stood high. You know, I dare say the top. We were, all our 2,000 samples disappeared. People kept coming. But the thing is, again, like Auntie Abi said, international certification. We have Ghana standards, we have FDA, very supportive. They give us coaching, you know, technical. They come and visit. They have to agree for you to produce. They are very good, you know. But on the international market, for sure. So I'm here, hopefully, to find out better ways, or if there are different channels to get this. Not so expensive, not at the highest price. We've been lucky. We have an off-taker in London, in Covent Garden. This started this year. I was taking our chocolates on. And we are hoping that, I can say, we can get into the main market. This is where we are as a Ghanaian and other that have decided to do black owned. So, but we are proud and happy that at least it started and there is hope. So we hope that coming here, this opportunity that we appreciate so much will help us learn from you and how to progress. Take something good back with us. I'm sure we all. And it's interesting to hear it's very interesting to hear those who are already in it. They can guide us because we are not networked. It is amazing, but there are so many people here who I think I could speak to, and even if it's just one step, to move to that step. So I'm grateful to be here. I'm honored to be in your presence. Thank you very much.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome, Dr. Ngozi, to Ghana. My name is Angela Nelson. I'm the founder of Spangles, and Spangles is a company, a very young company. Looking at all the beautiful women here, I feel very privileged to be here because I see them on social media and all that, and I'm like, how do I get to their level? So I agree with Auntie Nanama saying that we have to have a sort of a networking system going so that we can learn from each other. So what Spangles is into is beaded jewelry and accessories. So what we do is we try to blend our local product with other stones, just so that they'll be contemporary enough for people to appreciate and wear every day. Because if you've noticed, a lot of Africans wear African stuff during traditional occasions. and we want to encourage
Except me.
May I use you as an ambassador for Spangles? So what we are trying to do is to get more and more African women to patronize our local products by making them contemporary so that they can wear them every day, just like I'm wearing with my foreign attire. So we also try to also get our traditional things, modernize them, and then share them with the world. So for example, when you look at this, you wouldn't consider this as a normal waist beads, but we use a beading loom to bead our waist beads just to make them fun and different for women. Thank you. So, like our earrings, we blend them with our local recycled glass beads, just so that people would find them interesting to wear them every day. As I said, I'm a small business. I quit my formal employment about 5 years ago to start all this. It hasn't been easy at all. It's been really tough, but we are soldiering on. And I was privileged to have been part of the She Trade initiative. So towards the end, actually. And during just before the COVID lockdown, we had the privilege of having some of the resources come down to train us on how to take pictures and help us with our social media platform. And it really helped because during the COVID period, lockdown, that's all I was doing, taking pictures and posting them and all that. And it came at the appropriate time. And I'm proud to say that I used Wix to build my own website. So it really helped, and I thank you very much for all the initiatives that you've been given. The last thing is that what I want to do, I started an initiative whereby I try to give back to the society by sharing or teaching women of their mothers of their street children how to bead. I started this in December and I want to do more of this, so if anybody has any group of women who need training and all that, please contact me so we can work together. Thank you.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm so happy to see you here because when you were being voted, I was watching you. I was watching you. So when you won, hey, this woman. It's not easy for a woman to rub shoulders with men. It's not easy at all. But I never knew I would come and meet you and then sit down here. My name is Auntie Matilda. I do only poetry. In fact, my English is not good, so please just lend me your ears. But I didn't have any much in school. I just from class 1 to class 6. I started this business when I was deported from US London. So when I came, I was just carrying things on my head in the market, like I was carrying things for money. So I sat down there as a porter. So that time I said, I cannot be carrying things on my head every day. So I just started saving small. Then I started selling panties, meat pies to other people. So later on, I saw a certain lady carrying a basket, a very beautiful basket. I said, Madam, where did you get this basket? So I bought it from a certain village in Odan. I said, okay, then I'll go there. So I went there and saw the man. The man was living in the village, so I had to walk through the cocoa farms to the village. So I met and I said, Madam, I want to buy some of your basket and then sell. So Madam, this one I just do it after farming. When I come home, I do it. That's okay, no problem. I'll give you money, take the money, do them and then bring them for me. So the man was doing it for me for almost 1 year, and I was selling a meat pie. So after selling the meat pie, I'll pay the man gradually. So I had a full room of basket. So I met somebody said, why don't you take your things to trade fair? I said, what is trade fair? So that's why, you see, I didn't know anything about export. I didn't know anything about to go to a trade fair. So I went to a trade fair. I always ask. That's what I am. I ask advice. I went there and said, oh, you can buy a stand and then bring them to okay. So I paid for the stand and then brought the things. So when I brought them, the whole basket got, you see, in fact, I didn't know that I was coming to such a forum. I would have bought what I started from 1995 to now. I still have the samples there. So you see, so I started, so when they come, oh, madam, how much? Oh, don't you have a flower pot? I said, that time, you see, I was living in the village. I was brought up from the village, so I don't know what is a flower pot. So everybody will come, well, don't you have a flower pot? You don't have a, I said, what is a flower pot? So, okay, so after the fair, I begin to ask, and then they show me where these pots are coming. So I went to the man. I said, Madam, I want to sell flower pots. So how? I said, I don't know. So okay. Then somebody asked me to go to Ghana Export Promotion Council. So I went there. I met Sister again. So I went there and said, Madam, I want to come and register with you. Then they asked me, what do you do? And I didn't know what to say because I don't know what is craft. I don't know what is pottery. So I do baskets. So they said, okay, so they registered me. Within about 6 months, Pier 1 was coming. Pier 1 shop in the US.
In the US, yes.
They were coming to Ghana.
One of my favorites.
Yeah. I had my products there. I was producing for them. So when they came, I bought some of the basket. No, not the basket. I bought pot like this, and then I transferred the basket onto the pot. I was the first person to do this such pot in Ghana. Pot with raka. So when they came, they said, "Wow, beautiful." They gave me another. Those dates, 1995, $92,000. I don't know. I don't have a stove. Even I have only a chamber and hall. Where am I going to do this thing? So I quickly went out. I went to the man. So I started with the man. They gave me half. We started doing the things. The things were going quarterly, every 3 months. Every 3 months, we had about 6,000 pieces of order. So those people that you see in the all 37, those people doing baskets, all of them, I brought them from the village. Wow. From Odan to Asamankasi, they were those doing the baskets. So I had to bring them and teach them how to put it, drill the distance, and put them on it. So after that, they didn't go back. They all stayed in Accra. So the following year, Fiona was coming again. I said, so what can I do with this same pot? Okay. Then what I will do is that instead of cane, I'll use straw. So if we see all the straw boys in the market from Bolga, I brought them down from Bolga. So I brought them from Bolga. I housed them at STC, and then that time I was at Ashama. So because the export of the Pier 1, I got a little money. Because I was naive, I didn't know anything about export. I was just pushing to the market. So I brought some 150 here, 150 here, all of the boys. And then I have porters who are housed with their workers. So I have to sublet to them. Then the Bulgar boys, they bought their straws, they came in, and they worked for me. And I was able to do, that time, the repeat order was $50,000. So we did it, and it went. So since then I got into the market. So right now, I've been in the export market since 1995 up to today. And I have workers who are still with me for 28 years. And some have their children in the universities. And so Madam Miss is now, right now I am delegating everything to my son to take over. And she's doing well. I said to go to the US, Mama, what am I going to do? This thing is here for us. So right now, since September 11, everything went down because our main market was in the US. So everything went down. So I started looking around, going to Holland. So I got 6 customers from Italy, Eco Mercato, Libro Mondo, and those Mondo people. I got 6 customers. I got customers from them. And then I got 2 from Holland. The Holland people, I'm still working for them. But Italy, they closed down. And now, right now, I'm still with Pompus. If you know Pompus, I'm still working for them. I'm still working for them. Right now, I have the orders on my table right now that I'm doing. So right now, in fact, for exports, I've been the export for almost 30 years, and it has not been easy for us. But you see, if you have, I don't know, someone is for the movie. If you see, I didn't go to school. I didn't do any. I didn't go. I can print this thing. I can do this. I can design this thing again. You see, so for me, for that export business, there is my destiny. But you know what? Something during the COVID, I went to the market. So when I went, the tomatoes was rotting. This one here, onions, people were not buying. I said, what can I do with this thing? So I sat down. You know, we Africans, our Holy Ghost. So the Holy Ghost told me, can't you? Oh no, it's true. Can't you do something out of this? I said, it's true. She always tell me. I hear the voice, and I also answer her. So I buy the tomatoes. I buy onion. It was a whole bag of tomatoes. It's about 5 cedis. So I went in, looked around, got the bottles. I bottled them, and since 2020 to 2020, the bottle that I had. So right now I have a new business like this. And you see, tomatoes, onions, pepper, okra, turkey berries. I bottled them. No additives, and it stays for 4 years. So I was looking for some not the buyer. I don't want now at my age. What am I going to sell? I just want to invite it to train people so that they can those people who are doing food right now. Yeah, you see, but to get the funding to train other people, because if you go to Ada, the tomatoes they are just rotten. If you go to the north, onions are rotten. If you go here, pepper are rotten. So I need just give me only 200 people here, 220. I'll just train them within 2 weeks, do an exhibition, and I'll put them on the international market. That's all. If you look at this right now, the turkey berries are just in the market. You don't know what to do with it. Now, you see, at some point I was looking around and I see tomatoes rotting. I look at it and say, just to teach the women, those farmers themselves, that in case you don't have a market, just bottle it. There will be a lean time. Tomatoes will go, right now, tomatoes, if you want one like this, existing. And those days, if in case it comes and then you get somebody just to bottle it out, you just put it outside. There will be no shortage of tomatoes, there will be no shortage of pepper or anything of that sort. So this is what I'm doing. Wait, I'm finished. And then I was sitting down, I went to a fair in Germany, and I saw somebody doing paper beads. If you see the paper beads that I've done, beads, I never knew that was going to be here. Both like this, that you can still put water inside. Paper. I use any waste, don't throw them away. Any waste paper, yeah, don't throw them away. These boxes like this, I use them in the bowls. These ones are for the beads. Look at what I have in the shop. You wouldn't say that is paper. So I'm looking for somebody who is okay, madam, come and train this 200 people for me, or this 20 for me. I'll do it. I'll just impart this thing. This thing doesn't have anything. Just cook it and then, but the techniques in it, I won't show anybody.
Trade secrets.
And it's been for 4 years. I did it 2020.
So that's an inspiration story, and I think it's no by any coincidence that we are sitting together, because Born Green is into post-harvest losses. We make carrot powder, cucumber powder, and dry fruit.
What's your name?
So Born Green. Yes. So Monica Do, and I'm the CEO and founder of this company. So I hate waste, and that was why we started this company. We've been to a lot of farms in the northern region to see a lot of their produce goes to waste. So we decided to come up with something that can last forever and it will still contain its nutritional value. So we make pineapple chips, mango chips, coconut chips, and we make cucumber powder and carrot powder. So we are here to learn, and I'm very inspired by the story. So hopefully we can work together. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I am Marie-Louise Annan, and I'm the founder of the Mishkan Group, where we organically, 100% organically farm non-GMO cotton and process into lint, textiles, and seed oils. Compared to all the businesses here, I'm more or less the big business. I'm passionate about cotton. I'm passionate about organically farmed cotton. And cotton is of not a regular strain, it's of a high strain. I'm passionate about the fashion industry where there's a narrative of luxury fashion, but I believe for everything to be truly luxury has to start from the quality of the material. And so we are farming 100% organically. We have tested a strain and it's grown beautifully. And also we are processing and selling to businesses that are in the luxury sector. So fashion houses, hospitality, as well as beauty and pharmaceutical industry. We're still early stage where we just proved our concept, but we are looking to scale. We are also passionate about individuals that have physical disabilities. So as part of our worker line, we're including those that have physical disabilities, where we're training them in weaving and batik making. We've just been awarded a grant, which I'm really passionate about because it's going to enable us to go into the next scale. But what we really need is capacity building. We need help with our certification, help with training, funding. We have been going on the route of investors, getting investors on board, and a lot of people are really passionate. One thing that has helped me is being on startup accelerators, and there are a lot of investors looking for businesses. What has been challenging is that we're at pre-seed stage, so we're quite early on. So there are not that many, there are many, but not that many investors who are willing, especially for an agribusiness, to invest so much money at such an early stage. So we also need help with grants. It's not been so difficult in setting up. Our cotton has been fantastic. I've been on accelerators, and we've been helped and we've been going along. It's just been amazing. But one of the challenges I did experience was when I was registering. We're a social impact business. And when I was registering here in Ghana, there was not a structure for us to register under as a social impact business. So what I believe will be really helpful is for Ghana to look at the UK, the US, and see how other businesses, such as mine, are able to register as social impact businesses. One thing I've been looking out for is a lot of access to finances. But there are a number of programs that are available, but then they stop, especially for women, but they stop at 35, from 25 to 35. I'm going to be 40 next month. So we would love access to funding that don't have an age limit, age barriers, that don't have an age limit. That is going to be greatly beneficial. So I'm really excited to be here. I'm excited to learn and to also share and also support in a new way with ideas and advice on what can be done en masse for us to be able to work together. But yes, thank you.
Good afternoon, Ms. Fafa Wefoy, the CEO of E90 Ghana Limited, a leading producer of mushrooms that earned me the name the Mushroom Queen. The pain of inhaling thick smokes from the sawmills gave birth to E90 Ghana Limited. That gave us the opportunity to eliminate a lot of air pollution, that is carbon monoxide, a leading cause of cancer, according to the Ghana Health Service. Mushrooms contain a lot of vitamins and antibiotics that are very good for women especially, that help to rejuvenate our bodies, our immune system. So we are on the course of giving nutrition to the population, especially mothers and children. And I also sit here on behalf of women that are farming in the villages that may not have the privilege of sitting here with you this afternoon. Post-harvest losses continue to be a major challenge to these very women who are on daily basis bending their backs to produce for Ghana. But we see some of these post-harvest losses recording as high as 40% in annual revenue. And that gave them poor negotiating skills when people come to buy their products, so they don't get good value for what they're suffering for. And also poor road networks prevent them from bringing these products to the market centers. And all these are as a result of inadequate extension services, no proper training for these women, and then simple post-harvest techniques that can be introduced to these women, as our mother was saying, to transform these perishable products into finished product for export purposes as well. So we speak for training capacities, we speak for advanced techniques to transform these crops into better products for export purposes. Thank you very much.
To Matilda, who've been in this for so long, and then some younger people like myself who have, just started. So I'm hoping WTO can do more. I've heard so many things on cotton. We're doing quite a bit of work on cotton actually, so maybe we'll be in touch as well. But I think there's so much more we could do. I wish we had much more time. This could be like a day's conference to really delve into some of the work we can do, but we'll definitely be in touch on our side to see how we can support. And this has given us also some ideas in terms of registration, in terms of certification on things that we can help to do as well. So I'll pass it on to the DG.
Well, thank you. I see Nicole and myself have taken a lot of notes. So it's like she said, this is amazing. And this is why we're looking for the amount of talent and the range of issues that we've registered is what is very interesting to me. I want to start with success stories. There are some success stories around this table. And I think the first thing we are always missing is how do we share the success stories? How do we get those who have traversed the terrain to share with others? So I'm going to ask Honorable Minister that we need to form some kind of group out of what we've done today. I'm not here in Ghana, but I just want to put this idea down. How do we form a peer group where women can meet and share ideas, those who are succeeding? When I was a Minister of Finance in Nigeria, we started a program, two programs. One was GWIN, Growing Women and Girls, and the other was UWIN, Youth Enterprise with Innovation. And in the Youth Enterprise with Innovation, we gave grants of $10,000 to $90,000 to, it was a competition. We launched a nationwide business competition. And those who won were supported with this and capacity building, partnering with DFID and others. GWIN, we supported women entrepreneurs. And why am I telling this? We found there were actually some who were so successful, but they didn't know how to go to the next level. And even how to share their success with others. So I see around this table stories of success and going to the next level. Some people have scaled 10,000 women that you're employing. Some people are employing 10,000, 100,000. We have to get them to share their stories. So I'm going to be thinking about that, but we have to work with the Honorable Minister to see how we do this. The next big thing, like Nicole said, is certification. So here are some areas where the WTO can be useful, and some of you have already benefited from SheTrades, going to the public forum. Issues of certification is certainly an area that we can look at internationally, because through the standards facility, the standards and trade facility that we have, and the ITC, the issue of capacity building to help certify products and get them to be exported to different markets is one area that we can work on. So that's a big issue I've taken away. How do we help with the certification issues to break into different markets? Now here in Ghana, someone also said they need to be set. I think it's the toys person. So that is something that the Honorable Minister, I see her writing. She will have to do in Ghana, but that's one area that we can certainly. The non-tariff barriers that have been raised, they're a big issue. And in many cases, you fulfill all the requirements and then you continue to see NTBs thrown here and there. Now for those happening abroad, we can try to look into that and see what we can do. Within Africa, the African Continental Free Trade Agreement ostensibly should have provisions that will help to deal with this. So we support what they do and certainly willing to hear more and learn more and see how we can help. We've been doing some capacity building directly with countries who are trying to fulfill the requirements of the AFCFTA, which are based a lot on WTO requirements. So it would be important to learn more about those and see what we can do. So I can see from listening to you 2 or 3 areas. And what I'd like to do is take this back to the standards facility, to the ITC, and even the EIF, except the EIF is going through some changes. And see what we can do. The trade finance issue, many of you we actually had a workshop in Côte d'Ivoire and Ghana, so we're doing some very interesting things there because we found that in West Africa, the financing issue is a big one. The numbers from the study we did, the WTO and the IFC, the International Finance Corporation of the World Bank, we have launched a project together, and one of the studies we did here showed that West Africa, there is a big problem. Only 28% of trade here is financed through trade finance, as opposed to 40% on average for Africa, and 80% globally in other countries. So there's a serious problem in West Africa, and we're trying to understand what the blockage is. But what we did is we held a workshop in Côte d'Ivoire for Francophone countries.
Even worse,
okay.
because of the language
barrier. And it was so oversubscribed. It was one of the most popular things because we brought those who give finance and those who want the finance together. And we started to break down all the requirements that are put in place. Then in Rwanda, we did the same. I think they asked for only 60. The news went round town. The next day, 82 people showed up. Because it's very practical. What are the barriers? You people who are supposed to provide finance, why are you not doing it? And I'm intrigued by your, purchase, your advance financing, and I don't know whether you deal with Afrexim, whether they're also providing you finance, the IFC and others. But so in that area, we can do something. But what I'd like to see is whether we can have a workshop here for you, similar to what we did in Côte d'Ivoire and Rwanda. Very practical, dealing with all the barriers. And so we have to tell Marco Juan, then he will tell me who is going to finance it. So we will try to come up with some money to finance it, and we'll work with the government. So the second thing is to try and mobilize ITC and the standards development facility to try to do certification. So I'm not promising to solve everything. That's not the style. What are the things we can do? Certification, quality issues to help you break into markets or tell you where to go to do it so it will be cheaper. Trade finance issues. So we'll try to do that. If I can organize 1 or 2 specific things that can be helpful, not everything. That's what I'd like to try and do. And I think listening to you, some of the problems keep coming again and again and again, through this. So it would be interesting, we have your name so that if we launch such an effort, you will be participants in that. So that's what I can say to you. Give me a little bit of time, because it takes a couple of months to organize all this. And then we'll be back to you, and Nico will make sure we follow up, and the Honorable Minister, who is coming to Geneva soon, will also help us follow up so that we deliver on this. Okay, so that's my promise to you. Give me time to get organized, to find the people from the WTO and the financing, that we can come and work with you and tackle some of the problems. One or two that we can tackle. Okay? All right.